This unpaved road in the Arizona desert leads to the home of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. A sign that simply says Elizabeth lets you know you've arrived. Surrounded by wildlife, she spends most of her days confined to this room. After suffering 6 strokes, she's impatiently awaiting her death.
I'm ready to take off any time tonight. It's not too soon.
So you're not afraid of dying? You're ready
to
die?
Oh, come on, that's a joke. I haven't been afraid before I had the stroke.
Why would she be afraid? In 1969, she wrote the groundbreaking book on death and dying after interviewing hundreds of patients near death. In the book, she identifies and labels the 5 stages of death: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. The ideas in the book were embraced worldwide.
I think there was a tremendous popular reaction to her book. I think it really encouraged people to talk about dying, to talk to people who were dying.
I think it's been taught probably more than any other book to all healthcare professionals.
Kubler-Ross, a medical doctor trained in her native Switzerland, was led to her work after moving to the United States and seeing how dying patients were treated by the medical community.
Terrible. They didn't even tell the patients when they had cancer. They avoided them. They told them lies, and my dying patients were at the last room, the furthest away from the nursing station, and nobody talked to them about dying.
She went on to write more than 20 other books on dying, traveling the world, lecturing and teaching. Her work's been credited with starting the hospice movement, helping people die in comfort at home. After her work on death and dying, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross entered a period considered quite controversial by many. She sought out mystical and spiritual experiences. In the 1980s, she helped AIDS-infected children. In the mid-90s, after her farm burned in Virginia, her son persuaded her to move here to Arizona. Then she had her strokes. Her left side was paralyzed.
Yeah, and that's what you get in your retirement. No sooner did I move in my last furniture, then I was paralyzed and I couldn't do a damn thing anymore. And that's the last thing I expected in life, that I have to end up my life like a vegetable.
Now the woman who transformed the world's attitudes toward death is facing her own. Her views remain the same.
I did not write this book with my head. I wrote it from here, and it's not changed.
Despite her pain and disability, she says there are no circumstances in which a health professional should help someone die. She's vocal in her opposition to the assisted suicide efforts of Dr. Jack Kevorkian.
That's a cop-out. It's not his business. It's up to God. He likes to play God, and he's a lousy God.
With the help of a spiritual healer, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross says she's now in the 5th stage of death: acceptance. She has a message to the people who continue to write and call her: don't be afraid of dying. She compares it to a butterfly leaving its cocoon and being set free. Rhonda Rowland, CNN, Scottsdale, Arizona.